Former Prince Andrew has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Now known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, he was taken into custody in Norfolk just a short while ago. He is accused of allegedly sharing confidential information with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Mountbatten Windsor has previously denied any wrongdoing over his ties to Epstein. King Charles had stripped his brother of his titles back in October and has since evicted him from Windsor.
There are birthdays you just can't erase from memory. And for former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, his 66th birthday will go down in royal infamy. Early that morning, unmarked police cars rolled up to his mansion, and before anyone could blink, Andrew was taken into custody. He spent nearly 12 long hours being grilled behind bars on suspicion of misconduct in public office, a serious charge that could lock someone away for life. Inside the cell, whispers spread fast. The prince is in deep trouble! Investigators questioned his shady connections to the notorious Epstein network, digging into rumors that Andrew may have passed sensitive information to Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender who was already under investigation. This moment marks a shocking first in modern royal history. A senior member of the monarchy actually arrested. The shockwaves are crossing oceans, shaking up both the palace and Hollywood.
The former Prince Andrew, now known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, arrested on his 66th birthday after weeks of revelations over the former royal's friendship and dealings with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
It has been what I would describe as a constant sore in the family.
Insiders now claim Meghan Markle is in full-on panic mode. Her husband's uncle is in custody, and her own name is reportedly popping up in discussions linked to the Epstein files. Palace sources say the royals are moving fast behind closed doors, rushing plans that could strip Harry and Meghan of their titles once and for all. The monarchy hasn't seen chaos like this since the abdication scandal, and this time the fallout could get bloody. Tonight, we're diving deep into the arrest that's rewriting royal history, the evidence that landed Andrew in handcuffs, and the one question echoing through Montecito. Why is Meghan panicking so hard if she's got nothing to hide? To really grasp why Meghan Markle is losing sleep over Prince Andrew's latest legal nightmare, we've got to break down exactly what the former prince is up against. This isn't just a scandal. It's a full-blown criminal case that could rock the entire royal system. Andrew's facing the kind of prosecution that could permanently reshape how the monarchy survives in modern times. His arrest went down at Wood Farm, that quiet, isolated Sandringham estate where Prince Philip spent his final years. But peace didn't last long. Thames Valley Police, backed up by Norfolk constables, showed up with a warrant before Andrew even had time to pour his morning tea. In no time, the disgraced royal was in custody, grilled for nearly 12 tense hours straight. The charge? Alleged misconduct in public office, a serious common law offense that could land him in prison for life. And here's where things get jaw-dropping. While acting as the UK's trade envoy, Andrew allegedly forwarded classified government documents directly to Jeffrey Epstein. These weren't just routine files, they were top-secret intelligence that should have never left official hands. The shocking part? Epstein was already a convicted sex offender and under active investigation when this happened. This isn't just a poor decision. This could be a massive breach of national security. But that's just one piece of a much darker puzzle. The wider probe now involves 7 police forces, including the National Crime Agency.
A month ago, Harry was on the stand in the UK, drumming up tears, totally unrelated to the case itself, which ends at 2013. He makes sure to tell the judge that the media has made his wife's life a misery. And he's crying and he's getting emotional and he's trying to tug at the judge's heartstrings. Who the hell cares? Meghan's unrelated to the case. But then you see these two chasing the spotlight. It's like, go the hell away.
Digging into sex trafficking claims and multiple victims tied to Epstein's twisted empire. The deeper they dig, the more the royal walls start to shake. Former Prime Minister Gordon Brown has now stepped directly into the storm, personally handing over new evidence to police, demanding justice for the trafficked women and girls tied to the Epstein network. The infamous Epstein files have finally done what years of tabloid gossip never could. They've sparked a full-scale legal reckoning, and it's growing by the day. But here's where things spiral out of control, because the royal scandal just got way messier. Persistent rumors, though still unconfirmed, are swirling that Meghan Markle's name is quietly echoing through the same legal corridors now shadowing Prince Andrew. Allegedly, investigators might have an interest in Meghan due to her past connection with Andrew, a link that many thought had faded into royal myth. Whispers of a rumored affair, long brushed off as cheap tabloid fiction, are suddenly being re-examined. Photos showing Meghan and Andrew together at Soho House events are being pulled up again, and the timeline of Meghan's sudden rise in status is now being compared to Andrew's period of peak influence. Every overlap, every connection, is now being questioned with fresh eyes. Royal insiders claim Meghan is in a full-blown panic. Reports say she's scrambling to strengthen her PR and legal teams fast. Sources hint that Meghan's prepping herself for a possible legal blowback if Andrew's case expands further. And that's raising eyebrows, because if she's lawyering up before any formal accusation, what does that say? It suggests she's bracing for impact, aware that the palace's quiet discussions, ongoing police inquiries, and Epstein file disclosures could soon drag her straight into the spotlight. Behind the palace walls, King Charles is reportedly watching it all unfold with a cold, strategic calm, measuring every move, every headline, every whisper that threatens to shake the crown itself. The royal machine is moving fast. Plans to strip Harry and Meghan of their titles, long whispered about behind palace doors, are suddenly being fast-tracked. The reasoning? Brutally simple. When the monarchy is under fire, it can't afford any dead weight, especially not royals who could turn into scandals overnight. Andrew is already a massive liability. And now, insiders say Meghan might be next in line for that same royal crossfire. Here's where it gets wild. On the exact same morning her husband's uncle was taken into custody on charges of misconduct and possible breaches of national security, Meghan's newly reinforced PR team hit send on a mass email to her followers. But instead of addressing the swirling chaos, not a word of support for Andrew, no denial of the rumors tying her to him, not even a generic thoughts with the family message, she decided to write about candles. Yes, candles. According to royal experts, that wasn't an innocent coincidence. It was a deliberate, perfectly timed distraction tactic.
Today will go down as one of the most shocking days in modern royal history. This is bigger than Brexit. It may even prove bigger than the abdication of King Edward, because today, a senior royal family member was arrested. There is no modern precedent for this, and the ramifications of the monarchy could be...
The moment whispers about Meghan's possible links to Andrew started spreading, the alleged affair, the Soho House overlap, the name-dropping in Epstein-related conversations, her team knew they had to hijack the headlines. So they flipped the script. Suddenly, the story wasn't about scandal, it was about sense. Her lifestyle brand, ever polished and poetic, describes itself as more than a brand. It's a love language. But the timing couldn't have been more ironic. On the very day a royal was arrested for allegedly leaking state secrets to a convicted sex offender. Meghan's love language turned out to be aromatherapy and luxury candles. Neither Harry nor Meghan has uttered a single word about Andrew's arrest, not a comment about the palace, not a whisper about the 7 police forces or the National Crime Agency digging into the case, not even a nod toward Gordon Brown's call for justice. Just candles, just citrus notes, just the soft flicker of an Instagram perfect aesthetic, carefully crafted to make the world look anywhere but there. The question is, how long can the glow of those candles hide the smoke rising behind them? The real question now is, will Meghan's strategy actually work? Because candles burn out, scents fade, And once that final flicker dies, the darkness feels even heavier than before. Meghan's PR team is clearly betting that by the time the candlelight dims, the world will have moved on, that the headlines will shift, the gossip cycle will reset, and the public will forget. They're gambling on short attention spans and shiny distractions. But the investigations aren't playing that game. Police aren't reading lifestyle emails or browsing influencer updates. They're deep in evidence, not aesthetics. And inside the palace, sources whisper that alarm bells are ringing louder by the day. Not just because of Andrew's downfall, but because of the woman in California who seems determined to float above the chaos she might soon be pulled straight into. Right now, the British monarchy isn't just shaken, it's cracked. Prince Andrew's arrest isn't a scandal anymore. It's a constitutional earthquake, and those tremors are creeping right up to the throne itself. King Charles III suddenly faces an impossible nightmare. His own brother, a senior royal, sitting in custody, accused of crimes that could carry a life sentence. These aren't petty accusations. They involve national security breaches, sex trafficking networks, and layers of corruption that the Epstein files have peeled open in brutal, devastating detail. But the danger to Charles doesn't stop at family shame. It might go straight to the heart of the crown. Here's the terrifying part. If Andrew is officially charged and decides to fight back, his defense might not aim to clear his name. It might aim to save his skin. Palace insiders fear he could try to drag others down with him, even claiming that King Charles knew about or quietly approved some of his conduct, while Andrew served as the UK's trade envoy. It's the logic of a desperate man staring down a lifetime behind bars. And if Andrew starts talking, the monarchy might not survive the echo of his words. King Charles has already released a statement, polished, cautious, and coldly constitutional. It hits all the right notes. Deepest concern. Full support for the investigation. The law must take its course. But behind the palace walls, one can't help but wonder, is that statement a show of strength? Or the quiet panic of a king watching his crown tremble in his hands? King Charles ended his address with the solemn promise, "My family and I will continue in our duty and service." But no royal vow can stop the wheels of justice from turning. And no amount of duty can protect a monarch from the brutal verdict of public opinion. That court has already delivered its judgment, and it's not in Charles's favor. Recent polls show that a growing majority of the British public now believes the king should consider abdication. Not because of direct wrongdoing, but because the monarchy itself has become stained in the public eye. The once sacred institution is now seen as inseparable from the rot it silently sheltered. Political insiders are already whispering the once unthinkable, a transition of power, not by death, but by necessity. Picture it. The grand halls of Buckingham Palace heavy with silence as King Charles passes the crown to his son, not at the end of his reign, but while there's still a chance to save what remains. It would mark the first abdication since 1936. Yet unlike Edward VIII, who gave up his throne for love, Charles could be stepping down for something far more desperate: survival, his own, and that of the monarchy itself. And waiting in the wings, Prince William, calm, focused, and ready. Those close to him say he's been bracing for this his entire life, not out of ambition, but with a grim understanding that one day he might be called to rebuild a monarchy crumbling under scandal. When the truth finally breaks open, when every buried secret sees daylight, William could be the one left to clean house once and for all. Meanwhile, across the ocean, Harry and Meghan remain silent in California. Their royal titles hang by a thread, and palace insiders whisper that the final decision to strip them could come within days. Not as punishment, but as quarantine. A way for the monarchy to show the public it's cutting loose anyone who might drag the new reign down with the old. The investigations continue. The palace walls tremble. The future of the monarchy hangs in the balance. Will Charles cling to the crown? Will William rise early to protect what's left? And where does Meghan truly fit in this royal storm? The British monarchy stands at the edge of history. One wrong move, and the crown could fall forever. If you've been following this royal saga, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. Tell us what you think happens next. The truth is unraveling fast, and we'll be right here to uncover every twist.